So we titled this artist series Shelly Mosman.
It is an artistic highlight of her new series of work that she is right now exploring and showing.
So we had come up with the idea to do an artist series as a creative outlet, as a way to do work that wasn't driven by profit. It wasn't for a particular project. It wasn't for a company. It wasn't for a nonprofit. And we came up with the idea to do an artist series because, well, we like art and we have a lot of friends that make art, and so we'd really like to highlight or showcase what they're doing. And that led to running into Shelly Mosman's work. She's actually a friend of mine from college, so I kept up with her on social media, and I'd seen the new work that she was producing. It was pretty exciting, and she had a couple different series going with her photography work. And I showed it to Jami and said, "How about Shelly?" And
I took one look and I was like, "Yep, let's contact her. Let's see if she's interested." Our process so far has basically been the same. It's a one-day shoot. We do schedule the interview and then followed up by B-roll, usually shadowing the artist and what they do around for a couple hours at least. Yeah.
as a company, we've been working together on corporate nonprofit stuff for about 5 years now. And we started branching that out into doing more lifestyle projects and other things about 1.5 years ago. And that's when we came up with the idea to let's do something else. Let's do something that's creative as well as uses all the talents and resources that we have.
It's a way for us to express our art through somebody else's.
I mean, I was from hanging out with her on a shoot. So I went back and filmed with her when she had brought in a couple of kids to film, to do portraits work of in her studio. And sometimes she works in location, sometimes she works in studio. And so I went into a studio session with Shelly, and she has these vintage clothes, and she brings in the kids series was what she's working on, and she brings in these these giant pets. I think the day we were there, they had these big dogs and
Great Danes.
And she's posing them and putting them into their positions, and it's just I'm filming her, filming them, and it's really cool to see her get that moment. For me as a filmmaker, sometimes I have that feeling, but to see that in another artist, to see her moment, like, I got it, that's it, and she's, okay, we're done. It was super fast. That was really kind of one of the takeaways that I had from seeing her work. I think it's really, really cool the way Jami works with the music. I think, what she brings to it as a collaborator is the component of editing and how she pulls the right music for the project. And she sifts through the footage and then listens to all kinds of tracks. And maybe other artists do this as well, or filmmakers do this when they're putting together stuff. But to watch her do that is always really cool to see.
That process takes the longest, for sure,
Right.
making the music. Because it brings so much depth, and I mean, the music is everything. It sets the mood, it sets the whole tone of the film. So, yeah, I make a list of songs that could possibly work with the piece, and then I watch the string out of B-roll next to all these songs, and then I just know when the right song is playing with the B-roll. Like, that's it. I do most of the producing, like the contacting the clients and like keeping the communication open between them. But yeah, he's the troubleshooter and the brains and the tech guy behind everything. So it's really nice to have him around. I like the process itself and getting to the final, but just to have something to look at and that you've made. I mean, you've made this piece of art, especially with these artist profile pieces. And it's just really cool that we did this together. And I don't know.
I really like the short format because it doesn't require a huge time commitment, both for the artist pieces, and for other types of work that we do. The short format stuff is a 1-day shoot or a 2-day shoot. We can commit to that, and the edit might be 2 or 3 days worth of work. And that's something that's very doable with our schedules being the way they are. You know, you've got a lot of different shoots. I have my teaching job. You know, there's a lot of stuff to schedule, and doing a longer format, either documentary or narrative production, would be, I don't know, almost undoable, I think.
Right now.
Right.
Right. Eventually, we'd like to do, you know, a feature.
Sure.
That's our goal, right?
Right.
Do we have a goal?
I loved working
Yeah.
on feature films when I've had the chance. I've done, you know, 6 or 7 indie feature stuff, and it's great. But it's, you know, it's a month or 6 weeks or whatever just to shoot it out of your life, and that's a huge commitment.
Someday, when we have more time,
Yeah,
Right.
we will.
18 years or
Yeah.
15.
The kids will
15.
be
And-
all.
we've been counting.